Alrighty, welcome back for part two, where we're going to explore more in depth in the Classwork tab, including how to make assignments, reuse assignments, and how to grade or make comments on the work that students turn in. All right, let's get started. Okay, we've looked at the Stream tab. Now let's go over to Classwork. This is where you're going to want to post and organize assignments that are using digital curriculum or that are having students visit websites to do some reading on their own. You can add different topics to help keep yourself organized. You'll notice I've made topics for the different weeks. And then organize your assignments under those topics to keep everybody on the same page as to where to find the information for your class. So the classwork page is really going to be when you want to look back over and review the work that students have done online. And we'll take a look at that in just a second. To add an assignment or to add a new topic in your classwork tab, click on the Create button in the top middle of the screen, and you will have a few options that are available to you. For most of you, I'm going to say that just create assignment is what you're going to want when adding digital curriculum. But I'll kind of briefly walk through the different ones. So there's assignment. Quiz assignment, this will generate a Google form that you have to fill out in order to have the kids take quizzes online. If you're not familiar with Google Forms, I would just skip quiz assignment for right now. You can learn about that later. If you want to add a simple question for your class to answer, what's your favorite color? What did you learn yesterday? Then you can add a little question assignment for the students to just sort of, get the day started or to end up the class. If you have material that the students are going to use all the time, websites they're going to visit or things like that, the materials is almost like a syllabus page. Reuse post is excellent, especially in middle and high school. If you have multiple classes you're teaching, you can write the assignment once and then reuse that post from a previous class. For everybody else, this will be very handy in the next school year when you can reuse posts from previous years to start a new lesson for your new classes in the new school year. And you can also create new topics, again, to keep yourself organized in your classroom, to keep the students and the parents organized when they visit as well. So let's create a regular assignment. Here's the assignment page. Add a title, explicit instructions for your students to follow. You can attach files from your Google Drive, things you've already created, and you can even allow it to create copies for your students from a template. Add a YouTube video. You can create your own document from a blank practice sets we'll go over in video 3. Upload files from your flash drive or from your computer. Link to websites, and you can even use these add-ons, which we'll go over in video number 3. On the right side of the assignment creation page, you will see where you can share this assignment with more than one class. You could share this assignment with all your students or only to select students that need to get it. You can add a due date, and this is handy even if the due date is fluid and you go in and change it. When you need to, at least it lets everybody know that there is a point where this assignment is supposed to be finished, even if that will change. So it's always good to try to put a due date. Add or create a topic to keep all of your assignments organized. All right, nice executive functioning there. There's even a grading section, but since we use RenWeb/Fax for all of our grade books and report card creation and things like that, you really don't have to worry about the grading section so much, unless you want to use it as a way to keep track of grades in addition to RenWeb and Fax. Alrighty, so I'm going to create an assignment by reusing a post, but really it's going to be the exact same thing as if you just clicked assignment. It's just that this is already going to fill in my title and details of something that I've already used. So here I'm picking something from a Latin class that's going to be reused here in our sample classroom. There we go. So now we can see the assignment in place, including, right, I've already put the title and detailed instructions in. And in this assignment, I've included a Google document on visual flashcards that my students will be making. When you add a Google document or slide or sheets or whatever Google product, you have the option of sharing it with your student in three different ways. I'm choosing, you might be see up there, you might see it says make a copy for each student, right? You do that when you have a template that you've made that you would like to automatically have a copy made for every single student in your class so that they can edit and work on and then turn into you their own unique copy, keeping your template unchanged for you to use in future assignments. If, however, you have a file that you want every student to work on one copy of the file, right, everybody working and collaborating together at the same time on one document, then use the students can edit file. But be aware that that means that your template is now gone if you use this, all right, unless you saved it as a separate file. Everybody's going to be working in the file that you share, no more template. Um, then you have the ability for your students to just view the document that you're sharing. They can't edit it or anything, they can just look at it. All right, so once an assignment has been completed by a student, you'll see that there's a button to press that says Review Work. You can click on that or view the instructions again. But let's click on Review Work, and it'll open it up in a new tab that'll show you in the center, right, the work that the students were doing, whether it's a Google slide here or a PDF or whatever it is that it might be. The student work is in the center. On top, you can see that I'm a student's name. That's the student whose work I'm looking at. I can select from any of my students from a drop-down menu, or I can use these back and forth arrows to go sort of alphabetically to the next or the previous student. Here I clicking on to see the next student's work, and I can look through their slides or their document or whatever it is that I'm looking at. On the right-hand side, you'll see that I could put in a grade if I want to. I can leave comments for the student. And then when everything is done and I'm ready for the student to look at their work, I can return it either to an individual student or mass return a whole bunch of these. I can even, remember I said you can leave comments before, you even have a comment sort of bank. So if you have comments that you know you leave all the time, then you can have some already built-in comments ready for you. Now let's see the student view of things. What does it look like when a student logs in? So here I am logged in as a student. I'm going to click on my classroom. All right, notice I go to the stream first. It always takes me there. My assignments are listed in order, or I can go to the Classwork tab and see them organized by topics, like we do here. Mhm. So as a student, I'm going to click on an assignment. Right, that'll give me more detail about the assignment. And then I can click on the view instructions to view the whole page, including on the right hand side any work that you've assigned them, either a file that they can edit, or if it's made a copy of your file for every student. Then under the right hand side, you'll see where it says Your Work. Right, the student sees whether this work has been turned in or is missing. They can turn it in as they need, and unsubmit it even if they've turned it in before they needed to. If you've left any private comments for an individual student about their particular work, they'll be able to see those comments on the right-hand side right under their work. If you've left a comment for the entire class, then the students can see those comments underneath the directions and instructions. Any links to websites or things like that also show up in the instructions section, like here, the link to this dictionary. And on the left-hand side, the students can see their entire list of all of their Google Classrooms. And if they need to collapse that list to make the screen bigger so they don't see all of their classes, they can click the little three lines, the hamburger, there in the top left-hand corner of the page. Okay, that's it for part two. Next time in part three, we will take a look at the add-ons in Google Classroom for things like Edpuzzle and Pear Deck and programs like that. We will also take a look at practice sets, which is a really cool new innovative feature of Google Classroom. But those are a little more advanced, and we'll take a look at those in part three.